All right, welcome back, everybody. This is going to be the very small account recap here for the 19th of December. All right, so let's go back to what I mentioned last night on the Monday night recap, and I talked about natural gas. Okay, so I had mentioned that I went short the natural gas, and I was going to go ahead and I was going to carry it throughout the night. And that's exactly what I did. Let's go back and let's look at this. So right now, this is the 19th. Okay, right here. Okay, this is going to be the 18th. Okay, this is going to be on a Monday. And I took this trade short. This short came in around 228, 229, something like that, in the afternoon. And this is my short. It was what we call selling. It was a pairing selling pattern. Okay, so as you know, I trade. Basically, my approach to trading is different. All right, I have four very distinct patterns that I look at. They're my own patterns. They're not. They have nothing to do with bar charts, candlestick patterns. It's a totally different way of looking at the market. All right, so not Fibonacci numbers, not breakouts, not head and shoulders, not support and resistance. Okay, these are very unique, and I have four of them that I look at, and one is called pairing. So we did get a selling pattern short. All right, now once that is done, then we come in and we run what we call Einstein. Now Einstein it's a really cool little formula, and what it's looking at is looking at the speed of momentum, and based off of that speed, it gives me an indication of how far the market's going to go with a high probability of hitting that. Okay, before the momentum changes and starts going in the opposite direction. All right. The targets that Einstein provides, all of them are over 70%, meaning that the market's going to continue to go in that direction, hit those targets over 70% of the time before the momentum changes. All right, so that's real important. All right, so we enter the trade, and you won't really see the targets here. There's our first target. Okay, so this was the first target. I did have a resting order that ended getting me out at approximately, what was this, around 2:45 in the middle of the night, of course. But that was my target number one. I did have two targets, but this being a very small account, I was only carrying it to target number one. But if you go out a little bit further in time here, you can see it finally took out that second target. But once again, I had already exited my position at target number one, but it ended up hitting target number two. Once again, both these targets had over 70% probability of being hit during this move to the downside. All right. And I'm going to talk to you about the account that I'm using in order to do this, because it's going to be, if you want to start with a really teeny account, which I did for $200, you're not going to be able to go out there and just outright trade like an E-mini S&P, because the margin requirements, it's not going to be able to do it. I mean, the minimum is like 12, 15 grand just to trade an E-mini. So most people cannot do that. But hopefully I can show you a way that you can build yourself up using some other strategies. And then once you get your account size to a sizable amount, then you can start looking at trading the outright futures. All right. So anyway, that being said, so later in the day, I'd already exited out. Now later in the day, I'll show you this, we had a buying pattern. This is called a HF3. All right, right at the yellow line. That came in at about 1440, about 2:40 in the afternoon. All right, once again, have two levels. And once I got into the trade, I had exited right here just above target number one. That came in at around 3:30, and I was out of my trade. Now here's target number two, and as of right now, that has not been hit. So that's something you guys can watch if you want. and that target number 2 is around 25.85. So I don't think it's hit it there tonight yet. 25.85. You can watch it to see if it hits it. But that's target number 2. Once again, I got out of target number 1. So that was on the natural gas. All right. Let's look at the gold trade, because if you recall yesterday, having such a small account, I did get a buy in the gold, but I wasn't able to put it on. But once I got out of natural gas, I was able to put on the gold trade, and we'll look at that real quick. All right, so here's the gold trade. So this is kind of interesting, just like natural gas. Yesterday when I was in the natural gas, and I may have mentioned this on my recap, I also got a buy on the gold. Well, there wasn't enough money in the account to buy gold, right? So problem with a small account is you usually can't put on 2 at a time. So you got to be extremely selective. But I was already out of my natural gas with a profit. I was still at my entry point on gold. So I went ahead and I took the entry on gold here, and that came in a little bit after 8 a.m. This is after I've already got out of the natural gas. So I went ahead and I bought it, and once again, it was a period pattern buy, and I had 2 levels, and I did exit it at level number 1, and that happened fairly quickly. I got out at around 9, I think it was 9:37 to be exact. Went ahead and got out of gold. It did finally hit target number 2, but once again, trying to be conservative. I want to get the account up to a sizable amount before I start looking for these further out targets. All right. So anyway, so I took a nice little profit on that. And so the net of the day is, let's take a look at the account. All right, so here we go. So anyway, this is a live account. Remember, I started around the 6th of this month, December, with 200. I'm up to 373, almost up to 100%. This is the second time I've done it. I've never done it with account size this small. I don't recommend it, but I found it to be quite a challenge. And not only that, is that, let's face it, most people don't have, $12,000, $15,000 to start trading. And so the idea here was, is it possible? Is it possible for somebody that only has a few $100s actually be able to come in and trade and build the account up to where they can actually start putting on, start trading the outright futures, or maybe you want to become a day trader and doing some stocks. Stocks, day trading, you're going to need at least 25,000. So, but is it possible? And this is the second time I've taken an account and did a challenge. Last time I did it with $500, and I doubled that in a month. And this time I'm seeing what I can do with $200, and I'm almost at my target. But if for some reason I hit and I get to 100% return, which in this case would be up to $400, then I'll carry it through the end of the month and just see what I can do by the end of the month. All right. So anyway, that's where we stand right now. Once again, nice money on the gold, a little bit of money on the natural gas, so the net for the day was $107. All right. Now, let me tell you about what I'm using here. Okay. The name of this exchange is called Nadex. All right. Nadex offers something which are called knockouts. Okay. Knockouts, they give you the ability to trade futures. You can trade Forex. You can trade the indices like the E-mini S&P 500, or the mini Russell, the mini NASDAQ, or the mini Dow, which I don't recommend. But and you can do that with a very small account. Okay. And still take advantage of the price action, okay? And I do that through knockouts. I could never do that with an outright future contract, all right? So this is a really good, viable option if you do have a small account, is get with Nadex. And once you find that you can be profitable, then this is a good starting point. Take your little account, be disciplined, and build it up. And then if you want to start trading outright futures or whatever, then you can, go with your choice. There's a lot of good brokerages out there that you can trade through. So this is a really good way of doing it, and this is the way I recommend it. All right, is to start with somebody like Nadex. This is a regulated exchange, okay, here in the U.S., so it's legit. Nadex, like any regulated exchange, they do not have an interest in whether you make money or lose money. They make their money off of the transactions between the buyer and seller. That is it. All right. So don't confuse this with, other exchanges that aren't regulated. Okay. This is the only U.S. regulated exchange that I'm aware of. And that's why I use it. All right. So that's a good way to start. Start with your knockouts and then work your way up. And then once you hit a sizable amount, then you can do whatever you want at that point. Okay. But the key to all of this, once again, is it takes discipline if you're going to trade. Now, remember, last Thursday and Friday, I didn't have any trades. So, and also keep in mind that when you're looking at any account, I don't care what size it is, it's not the dollar amount. Some people say, we only made $173 this month. No, it's the percentage that is the most important factor. Okay. I know y'all get caught up in seeing these guys on the internet and they're making, 30, 40,000 a day. But you got to remember, these guys are trading $700,000, $800,000 accounts. All right. Most of them are making maybe 2,000 or 3,000, but they're still trading these huge amounts. So the percentage return is very, very low. All right. And that's the key, is what is the percentage return? All right. So I think a lot of people have unrealistic expectations on what to expect. So stop looking at how much you're making. Look at what your account started with and what is your percentage return, right, at the end of the year. Right? And it doesn't even have to be at the end of the month, at the end of the year. All right. A good mutual fund, all right, is going to get you somewhere between 10, 20%. So think about that in a whole year. So that means $200 account. At the end of the year, it's up 200. You make $20, right, for 10% or $40. All right. People say, well, that's not very much. That's a damn good return. Okay, over a whole year. All right. What we're looking at is this is not even quite a month yet. All right. So let's be realistic about the dollars. Okay. It's the percentage that's important, because if you can take a small account and have a really good return on it, then that means you can take a big account, should be able to do the same thing. So if you have $100,000 account and you do 100% in a month, that's $100,000. So you see what I'm saying? It really depends on the account size. So that's going to wrap it up. So tomorrow's Wednesday. Usually Wednesdays and Thursdays are going to be really good trading days. I expect either tomorrow or Thursday, all right, to really have a ton of volatility. People are going to stop trading, and they're going to start getting ready for the holiday here. So for Christmas. So you're going to see things starting to slow down here. And then next week is kind of iffy too, between Christmas and New Year's. So should see the next couple days have some really, really good opportunities to get some nice moves, and maybe even in the stocks, so much, even more so in the stocks and some of the indices. But nonetheless, join us in the morning. I had some difficulties this morning with my bike. Seems to be an ongoing issue, but I think we finally resolved the problem. It had to do with the drivers, but I think we have that fixed. And so please join us in the morning. If I have any trades on in the live account, I'll let you know about it. And then the first 30 minutes is open to everybody. Then if you want to continue to follow me throughout the day to know what I'm trading, then you would need to join our Discord channel. And we are having a special coming up for that. So if you're not on our email list, get on our email list. If not, contact us via our website, innovativetradingstrategies.com. We'll make sure that you get that email with those specials coming out on our packages, and also able to join and get on Discord. You don't have to learn the strategy on Discord. Basically, the Discord is used really more so you can kind of watch how I trade, and I do share my charts every day on Discord, and I let everybody know exactly what I'm getting into, and whether I'm trading a stock or I'm trading a future contract or whatever the case may be. I share all my charts and my entries and exits. All right, and you'll be able to see that live. So if that's what you're looking for, and you want to just follow me, you can do that through Discord. If you want to learn how I do this, okay, something I've developed over the last 40 years, then that would be one of the packages you want to purchase. And we'll teach exactly my strategy, which, by the way, at some point, obviously, I'm not going to be able to continue to train. So it's either learn it now or you never learn it. And I'll tell you, after everything I've seen in the market, and I've seen it all, nothing beats these patterns, and nothing beats Einstein, because they've been so consistent over the last 35 years, and also the universal. And that's very hard to say that about anything as far as trading is concerned, to find something that works in all different markets. All right, and that's the idea, is why you watch me trade, not so much that you see me making money, but these tools that I'm using are very effective in a broad range of different markets. So everybody have a good day, and hopefully we'll see you first thing tomorrow. And hopefully if we have some trades, we'll let you know about it. See you later.